this is my May 29th Highlander update. I've been mostly working on carbon fiber. I've gotten quite a ways. I will be honest, it's actually a pretty big pain in the bottom. It's messy and it's a little bit more irritating than I expected it to be, but it's actually a lot of fun other than that. It was quite a bit of a process too. I ended up making my pod panel. What's going to be my headache rack will go up here, and my butt ribs. Everything is scuffed and ready for clear coat. Was going to do the clear coat so I'd get some UV protection on it. But this is actually for the pilot side. They actually go up here. So a couple things I did figure out while I was making it, which I'll show you the molds and stuff here in a minute. But you know, finding a good type fastener that works with these was a little bit difficult. And I found these items from a company called Click Bond. And they're really neat. All you do is you drill the appropriate hole size, it gets epoxy on the back side, and you pull this through, and the bit of rubber holds it in place until it cures, and then you just pull the rubber out and you've got whatever size fastener you decide to use. So that was actually really handy. All right, so here's the molds. Actually, this is the plug. I started off with the plug, made it first. It looks really rough now because I've beaten it up pretty bad, making all the molds and stuff off of it. But made the plug first, made sure everything fit. And you know, that was actually kind of a tough bit, making sure that everything would fit perfectly inside the aircraft. That webbing, all the bars and stuff where they meet, it's not perfectly square, and so you're trying to make sure that everything lines up the way it does, or the way it needs to. But anyway, so I made the plug, made the molds off the plug, and then pulled the parts out of these, of course. And I got perfect pulls on the top and bottom piece. This, with these deep recesses, was pretty tough. I ended up actually doing a couple pulls before I got it, the one that was acceptable. Not perfect, but it was acceptable. The butt ribs, however, were super easy. This was actually stupid easy to put together. This is just a piece of 3/4 inch, well, Advantech, but OSB, any type of 3/4 inch plywood would work fine. And then this is what we normally call dairy board or cattle panel. It's just really slick. I took it and I just cut a board down to 1 inch, and then put a straight piece on the bottom. It stayed. And then this one was made with the arch in it. I could flip it over for the left and back upside right for the right. And it worked really well. If you go to do this, one thing I would recommend is I made this exactly 1 inch thick, which the original butt ribs are exactly 1 inch thick. If I had it to do over it again, I would have made it 1.5 inches or better. That way I could just cut it straight off at 1 inch, and I wasn't not messing around with trying to get, you know, cut right at where the bend was in the part. But this is actually where the butt ribs will actually look once they're installed. Of course, they actually go onto the aircraft, but since I did do the capacitive probe, I was able to reverse my butt ribs and put them on there, and that'll be pretty slick. By the way, these ended up at 6 ounces a piece, so half of what the original was. My whole instrument panel, every single piece that went into it, was 1 pound, 13 ounces. So extremely light and a lot tougher. And to be honest, you know, it's the first time I messed with carbon fiber. Didn't really know what I was doing as far as how much material I needed there, and I probably overbuilt it. I used 3 layers on just about everything, and I thought it was going to be, I thought I was underbuilding it, to be honest. Once I got that thing together and just a few fasteners holding it in place, it is just rock solid. So keep that in mind. It could have been actually a little bit lighter if I'd known better. If I go to do it again, I will make one a little bit lighter. But that's so far is my update for this week. I do have a couple announcements coming out on the next couple of videos for you Yamaha guys. There's one announcement that you're definitely going to be interested in, and then it's just for airplane guys in general. There's a pretty big announcement I'm going to make here probably in the next few weeks. So anyway, stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching. Appreciate it.